Today we're talking about the Sony FX3 Full Camera Cage V2 by Tilta. We'll look at what's in the box, cover assembly, mounting options, do a comparison to V1, and I'll give my final thoughts. This video is not sponsored. I paid for this gear with my own money. My thoughts on these products are always candid and not exaggerated for the sake of views. This channel is not about generating hype. It's about providing value for those who watch. Tilta FX3 Full Cage V2 is priced at $109 USD and comes in black or titanium gray. In the box, we have the camera cage and mounting hardware, HDMI cable clamp attachment, slotted screwdriver, and 2.5mm Allen key. The major contact points where the cage meets the camera have neoprene-like padding to protect the camera body. There are 3/4 20 locating points to attach the cage to the body, one on the left sidearm, one on the right sidearm, and one on the bottom plate. When first assembling the cage, I found that I could only get all 3 locating screws tightened down completely if I started with the screw on the left sidearm. It seems to have the least amount of tolerance for the screw to fit. I think it's because the ridge above the locating point needs to be a bit larger, or a screw with a smaller head needs to be supplied. I even bought a second copy of the cage, but the same problem occurred. This was not a problem on V1. The full camera cage can be turned into a half cage by moving the 2 M4 bolts from the bottom of the cage and the 1/4 20 camera screw from the left sidearm. When reattaching the left sidearm, I was able to screw in the 2 M4 bolts and the 1/4 20 from the left sidearm without any problems. I assume once I got the cage assembled the first time, it adjusted itself to fit the body correctly. In addition, the cage integrates an Arca Swiss quick-release plate into its design using the DJI standard, meaning it will work great with DJI gear, but may not be compatible with all Arca receivers. Next, one can attach the XLR top handle or proceed with attaching the NATO-compatible top mounting plate. Finally, the HDMI cable clamp can be attached by opening the port door and finger tightening the tie-down. Note that there is no locating pin in the cable clamp design, which was present on V1. This causes some play in the attachment. Furthermore, the tie-down for the HDMI cable is the same type of toolless thumb screw as the tie-down. I would much prefer V1's implementation because it used a 2.5mm Allen key to tighten it down. It keeps the HDMI cable clamp much more secure. One positive in V2's favor is that the HDMI cable clamp attachment accommodates larger HDMI cables than V1. V1 could only use the ultra slim style HDMI cables, but overall I was very disappointed with this HDMI cable clamp attachment. It does, however, come included with the cage, where it did not with V1. I get that some people may prefer a toolless design for their accessories, but this execution did not render confidence. On the front of the cage, there is a 15mm rod holder mount and lens adapter support mounting screw holes. On the top of the cage, there is a cold shoe mount, NATO rail with 2 locating points, 5 1/4 20 screw holes, and a cold shoe mount with a single 1/4 20 screw hole. On the bottom of the cage, there are 6 1/4 20 screw holes, with the center being a locating point, a single 3/8/16 screw hole, a magnetic slotted screwdriver, and 2 M4 screw holes for mounting the left sidearm. On the left sidearm of the cage, there are 2 wrist strap ports, but they are not aligned vertically like on V1. Next, there is a locating point, a single 1/4 20 screw hole with locating pins, 4 other 1/4 20 screw holes, and a single 3/8/16 screw hole with locating pins. On the right side arm of the cage, there is a wrist strap holder, HDMI cable clamp mount, locating point, a 1/4 20 screw hole with vertical and horizontal locating pins, another 1/4 20 screw hole with horizontal locating pins, USB-C cable clamp mount, and a tiny strip of NATO rail. Unfortunately, I don't see any revolutionary changes from V1 to V2. However, it is still fairly priced, compact, modular in design, and lives within a healthy ecosystem of accessories. It does, however, have a nice new matte black finish compared to the glossier V1. It has a few more mounting points, which includes some sturdier 3/16s. It comes with an HDMI cable clamp attachment that accommodates more HDMI cables. It has a slightly less sharp grip with newly placed neoprene-like padding for one's right fingers and palm. For negatives of V2 compared to V1, V2 doesn't come with a wrist strap, and the wrist strap ports are not aligned on the left sidearm. No Manfrotto-style quick-release plate is included, probably because they are moving to the modular 15mm LWS baseplate Type 3 instead of V1's Type 4. Next, the HDMI cable clamp attachment is a step back in design, with its fiddly thumb screws and lack of anti-twist locking pin. Finally, V2's assembly process was quite frustrating relative to V1's. The first sign of a bad cage is that it doesn't fit the camera properly. Chiefly, the mounting points should line up and be easy to screw in. In short, I think V2 is a worse design than V1. I would expect to see at least one major upgrade here. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Regardless, I think they are phasing out V1, so V2 will be the only option for new buyers within the Tilta ecosystem. Thus, for new buyers, I would recommend getting your hands on V1 or researching a different manufacturer altogether. For existing users of V1, I would recommend holding off as well. Aesthetically, I do like the changes to V2, and since I can't return it, I might as well put it to good use. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or requests, please leave them down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.